So now we're both streaming and recording. Let's see if all these levels make sense now. Can everybody see and or hear me? My voice, and that's about it. And if like the background isn't too crazy, because there's a window open over here, and my cat is sitting there. Perfect. Okay. All right. So this is the second playthrough for the League of Extraordinary Investigators. My name is Dane, and we are going to be starting this off. This is the let me see here. Second scenario, we're going to pull this out from the Dunwich Legacy. It is called, let me see, Extracurricular Activity. Takes place at a school. Arkham, Miskatonic University, rather. And the first thing I wanted to show you guys was the differences that I made in my decks. I don't know if this is a thing that we need to be doing. But I did want to make a mention of it just because, you know, for statistical purposes, so that everybody knows where the deck is at, because mine will change significantly more than most others in the league. First, let me take you to the deck list here on Arkham DB. Where is this boy? There we go. Okay. Let's get me like right up here now. Perfect. Okay. So this is my deck list for these here. So the reason why I'm showing you these is because I did change a few things. The deck list being here, I can also align this with the Arkham DB Tabletop Simulator app. That way you can verify that I did indeed choose this deck and have these changes. So the first thing that I wanted to show was that I got 5 experience last time from doing from 4 victory points obtained via locations and an enemy, and then 1 by the scenario resolution, an XP from the resolution rather. So what that meant was that I actually the changes that I made to the experience, I put into adaptables and a streetwise. That was where my 5 experience went. And then the 2 adaptables, I actually, once you get adaptables, you can immediately make the changes in your deck. So I immediately changed out a manual dexterity and an I'm out of here for an art student and a logical reasoning. And I added 2 backstabs, as I do need more ways to deal with enemies. And 2 track shoes, as the deeper we get into the Dunwich Legacy, the more we need to scramble around to farther locations. And since there are 2 locations with victory here, when you do the extracurricular activities second, I wanted to see where we could go with these insanely good track shoes, as they do kind of synergize well with the Lucky Cigarette case, in that when you do take this test 3 test, and you succeed by 2, let's say if you get a 0, because Finn's native agility is 4, boosting it to a 5. If you get a 0, you automatically kind of get a Lucky Cigarette case draw, which is nice. And it also gives that much needed dodge for the extra Finn, the free Finn dodge. So we're going to be hopefully making good use of track shoes, as well as hopefully the enemies that are included in here, there's 2 that have victory that are in the deck. Hopefully we'll be able to get them waylaid. If not, we've got our sneak attacks, and we've got the newly introduced backstabs to kind of help ward off the enemies. Didn't think we needed the I'm out of here's that much. Both of them anyways. There is a way to resign, but they're not as compulsory here. So with that said, I think that I'm going to include a timestamp as well, just so that people can jump straight if they don't feel like seeing this. Perfect. So let's get back into the game here. I'm going to slide this over here. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Perfect. So you can see there's a little deck builder here for those who are not familiar with Tabletop Simulator, where you can just pull directly from Arkham DB. You just load the cards in, you type in the Arkham deck ID, and then you hit build it, and then it plops out right there. I already kind of set up my stuff here, so the Streetwise I have out in the miscellaneous slot over here, and I have 2 adaptables. I just kind of put them on top of each other, but they're both there. I'm going to go up to 5 resources. We do have our turn tracker here now. I'm going to hope that I am good enough to keep remembering that it's there. We're going to hit place, and it's going to like throw everything out for us. The one thing that I do know is that we do need to change this to this standard difficulty in Dunwich, as it's preloaded, I think, with the regular the Gathering preset. So I'm gonna make it so that I'm the only investigator here, and then I'm gonna drag our boy Finn over. So again, once I start playing, I'm going to include a timestamp so that everybody doesn't need to see me setting all this stuff up. But you guys get to see all the exciting things that I do to set up everything. So I'm going to spawn another one of these boys down here for Finn's free action. And I'm going to keep these on the side just in case we do get... I like to use this for Lone Wolf just so I don't forget the Lone Wolf trigger, thanks to Paul for recommending that I do that. And this is the Leo... action marker if I do get Leo. We're going to shuffle our deck. I'm going to move straight over to the Miskatonic Quad, is where we do start as the investigator. We are on Quiet Halls. We've arrived on the campus and looking for Warren Rice. Shuffling counter deck. And it is after hours. He was last seen in the Humanities Building. So Orrin Library, we've got Humanities Building down here. Student Union, Science Building, and Administration Building all set up. All connected to the quad as the central location. And we can begin our play, I believe. So we've got 5 resources to start. I'm going to shuffle my deck once more just to make sure. And we're going to get started. So we're going to draw our 5 cards. Okay. So immediately we start with a Lone Wolf, which is great. There are some encounter cards that make us discard 1 from play, or it makes us shuffle 1 in and then discard 3, which is terrifying. It's basically a super crypt chill, in which I don't want Leo out by himself. So I'm going to just take these 3 cards. I don't know what happened there. These 4 cards, rather. I'm going to keep 1 Lone Wolf with me. And then hope to get an ally here. So I'll draw 4. Oh, we did get Leo. Perfect. So we're going to start off with the Leo Lone Wolf, which is amazing. We're going to get these in there, shuffle them back up. We've also got an intel report, which is incredible, too. We want to hit the Orrin Library first, and that you do take an additional action to investigate, which can be taxing for some. But if you've got intel report, all you do is just pop that clue off because you can just simply discover it. So I'm going to take a Leo Lone Wolf turn here, which basically means I get a credit for my get a resource for my first action. Second action is play Leo DeLuca. Leo comes in, we lose all our money because we play him. We get our Leo action. On my Leo action, I will get another money, and then on my last action, I will play a Lone Wolf. So my Lone Wolf comes in now, so we're set on Leo and Lone Wolf money now. If we get a thing that shuffles an asset back in, that would be kind of unfortunate. But for now, I think this is one of the best starts we can have. The only better thing being if we had track shoes in our hand. But we do have a way to deal with enemies. We do have a way to get that 1 clue that's kind of annoying to deal with. And we have an unexpected courage for anything else that might come our way. I'm going to try and use this thing now. So that was the investigator phase. Now we move to the enemy phase. There are no enemies. We're going to move to upkeep phase. So we will be resetting our actions. So I flipped all these little guys. Each investigator draws 1 card, gains 1 resource. So I'm going to draw a card. Oh, it's my weakness, which is kind of unfortunate because now it gets shuffled back in. We get a resource and we check our hand size. So this says ready each enemy at your location or connecting location, each hunter enemy at a connecting location moves one location towards you. If no enemies move as a result of this, we shuffle this back into our deck. So it might come up later again. However, what's nice about this, though, even though we didn't get it now, usually it's not too big of a deal to get it again. We just kind of lose a card draw, which is unfortunate. I gained the resource from the upkeep, but now it's another card in our deck, as Dunwich Legacy will try and mill you, and mill is a term that's used from Magic the Gathering, but essentially means just taking cards directly from your deck here and throwing them in your discard pile. So that was our whole first turn, was setting up Leo Lone Wolf. So we will go to put a Doom on the agenda here. We've got 7 threshold for when it pops off. I believe I shuffled this, but I'm going to shuffle it one more time just to be absolutely crystal clear. Sure. We're going to draw our encounter card. Okay, it's Beyond the Veil. So this will murder me if I have no cards in my deck. So we have a 29-turn clock here, barring any crazy cards that come off that make us discard more. However, it does have Surge, so we draw an extra one. Perfect. It's a Thrall. Great. So we get Thrall. 2 combat, 2 agility, 2 health. Spawn location with the most clues. There are no clues out, so it just spawns on me. It does have Retaliate, and it does 1 horror and 1 damage. So we don't have a way to shoot it. However, we do have a free Finn evade. We can take an additional action during our turn, which can only be used to evade. Unfortunately, we don't have the Lucky Cigarette case to draw a crazy amount of cards, but that was the Mythos phase. We did add the Doom, and then we have the Thrall and the Beyond the Veil chilling, waiting for us here. Back to the investigation phase, we'll flip our Lone Wolf. I'm actually going to use this catch back up. So that was turn 1, now it's turn 2. Okay, so we've got 5 actions now. We've got our 2 resources from the Lone Wolf and Upkeep. We're just going to take our free Finn evade here. It's 4-2, which seems fine. It's not that big a deal if I miss it, because I do have the Leo trigger. So our free Finn action will be to evade. -2 is actually perfect, 4-2. So we'll put that back. We will pull this Thrall up here. This is kind of an unfortunate place to get the Thrall, because it is on the central kind of hub. It might have been in my interest to move it with me to the Ornn Library, take a damage in horror, and then just dodge it here so I never have to deal with it again. And that probably would have been good if I didn't take the test already. But since we have done that already, you know, it's whatever. So that was our free Finn action. Action 1, I'm going to head over to the library, blast off that clue. So 1 clue is here. We must take 1 additional action to investigate the Ornn Library, and it does have victory 1. So I will just play an intel report just to bypass that. I don't really want to take the extra action here. So we're going to do that. Skip drawing a thingy. We just get a clue immediately. And then we're going to head down to... So now we do have that victory, and I'm just going to make sure that we commemorate that victory. And we're going to just make this huge victory so we don't ever forget that it's there. We've got 2 actions left, which we are going to use going down here to the Humanities Building. Humanities Building spawns with 2 clues on it. At the end of your turn, if you're in the Humanities Building, discard the top X cards of your deck, where X is the amount of horror on you. So that would be bad. However, we are not horrified whatsoever. We are kind of fine on that end. So let's see. 1 was move, or 1 was evade. First actual action was move. 2nd was intel report. 3rd was move again. I kind of want to get a resource here. I know it was kind of a waste if we were planning on doing this anyways. I can, so it's a 3 to 4, which is kind of close. 3 to 4 investigate that would be. But I kind of want to ensure that I do get it. And I don't want to use my Unexpected Courage as of yet. And Streetwise, the ability to spend 2 resources for 3 books essentially just means that you get it no matter what, barring autofail, of course. But if I do bank a resource here, by next turn we'll have 3. So we'll be able to basically use an action for another resource and then blast off these 2 clues with little problem. So I think I might do that. The other option is to draw, hoping to grab my emergency cash, but I'm kind of disincentivized from drawing now that I already have Beyond the Veil out. This is basically like watching me, and if I die, or if I go beyond the Veil here, I just get murdered, and I don't want that. So we're gonna try and make best use of Streetwise as we can. I'll use my last action to get a resource. It will go to enemy phase. Enemy phase, nothing happens. Upkeep phase, I'm just going to remember to get this gal up. I will reset all of my little thingies. Then we will draw a card. So we got our other Lone Wolf in the case that we do get that 1 card that has a shuffle. We're in no danger of... well, we're in minimal danger of taking horror. We do get our resource here from upkeep. And... we're going to go to turn. So Doom is at 2 now. So that was turn 1, turn 2. Now we're going to be going to turn 3. So it was upkeep phase. Now it's Mythos phase again. Am I missing anything? No. This would trigger, however, we don't have any horror, so nothing happens. We're going to draw a card. Hey, it's a Whippoorwill. Oh boy, so this is an aloof enemy. It's got Hunter, and it gives us horrible stats, which is very unfortunate right now because we don't want to have to deal with minus stats. So we are at 3 book now. It's kind of skewing the way that we can investigate, and it's kind of annoying to have this many enemies here, honestly. We've got a Thrall already in kind of an annoying spot, and we've got a Whippoorwill on the humanities building with us, making us not as good at investigating. We're going to get the Lone Wolf money at the beginning of our phase here, so we're at 3 money. So we have to deal with that somehow. Okay, so we've got 3 money. If we boost our 3 book now from the Whippoorwill by 3, we're at 6 to 3. Barring a -4 or an auto fail, we don't really have much to worry about. So I'm actually just going to do that. I'm going to go 2 resources into Streetwise. First action will be Investigate. And we're just going to go for the +3. Wow. Okay. So +1 for each exhausted enemy in play. There are no exhausted enemies in play at this time. If I succeed by 2 or more, which I'm at 6, 2, 3. If I succeed by 2 or more, I will get an extra clue at the location, which is amazing. So that is actually that cures pretty much everything we had to deal with here. So I'm gonna get both clues off of this immediately. So I get the first one from the Elder Sign. Because I did succeed by 2 or more, I do get that extra clue, and then because I did succeed, I get that second clue. So that was action 1. Which means we don't actually have to spend that resource, which is great. Great news for us. This little bird is going to be actually really annoying to deal with. I'm wondering, since we already have kind of a lead here, if we just murder it right now. Or do we just kind of let it fly around and do whatever? My plan is to hopefully draw both the Athean Observer and the Priest of whatever his face is and deal with it that way. Although the horror, the abomination here that spawns in the science building / alchemy labs, it's also a possibility to kill that with the concoction. And since we have such a great lead, we might want to just take our lead and go for the clues, get Jazz out fast, spawn the abomination. It'll hang out in the alchemy labs so that we can have the time to deal with it. I don't think this Whippoorwill is going to be that big of a deal with Streetwise out, as we saw on this turn. So I think I'm just going to head over to the quad. Thrall comes back on top of us. Hello. It is a 4 to 2 again. The Whippoorwill doesn't follow you right now. It is aloof. It will eventually hunt to me, but that's not that big of a deal. So I'm going to take my free fin action here. Auto fail, as was foreseen. I'll take my third action to try and dodge again. Okay, we're at a -1 now. Thrall gets evaded. And we're going to head down to the student union, actually. We're going to not become massive. Okay. So we're at the student union. We flip this over. There are 2 clues here. You can heal 1 damage, 1 horror for 2 actions, although we're never going to do that. After it's revealed, you put the set-aside dormitories into play. So we're going to go to the little set-aside chest here. Grab the dormitories. Set it right down here. I'm going to copy this arrow and paste it right down here. It is connected. The door leading to the dormitories is locked. I cannot move into the dormitories. So let's see. 1 was clues. 2 was move. Free fin evade was auto fail. I evaded again, and then I moved down to the dormitory. So that was the last action. I'm going to flip this guy over here. Make sure that we are all set. Enemy phase. We do have some action going on here. The whippoorwill is going to move up here. And upkeep phase, we're going to ready all of this stuff. The thrall is going to get back up. Someday it will hit us. Flip my mini card, and we're going to proceed to the next step, which will be to draw a card. Got a manual dexterity, that's pretty good. And get a resource. Now we basically, every time we have two money, we can just kind of sink it into Streetwise unless we need it for other things. The good part about being at 3 money on our turn is that with Lone Wolf here, we can just kind of play our Derringer after we free evade something. We do want to kind of keep at a more stable, higher amount of money. So we're on turn 4 now. We are at the first Mythos phase. We set the Doom to 3. And we are going to draw another card. I've played this like probably about 8 times now. I've never seen this once until this playthrough. So this attaches to my location as additional cost to move into or out of the attached location. Test 4 will. If successful, discard Arcane Barrier. Otherwise, you must cancel the effects of remove or discard the top 5 cards of your deck. This is like horrifying with Beyond the Veil. And Finn, because Finn has 1 will. So we will basically always fail this, which means that we're going to be milling the top card of our deck very, very frequently. And it also means that we can no longer like kind of jump through this area. So this is strange and annoying because suddenly I do want to go to the dormitories to get the victory off there, but I also want to go up to the science building to get the clues off there. I think, or the alchemical concoction rather. While it does nothing to us right now, because basically all we're doing this turn is just popping these clues off, making sure that we can get Jazz, and then going about our merry business. I'm gonna go back to the investigation phase here, get our Lone Wolf money, and think about my life for a minute here. So we have a really good chance at getting this. It's a 4 to 1, barring -4 and auto fail. We should be fine. -3 if there are 10 or more cards in our discard pile. There are currently. How many are there here? Is it literally just Intel Report? Yeah, it's just Intel Report. There is 1. So I think I'm just going to investigate, get these clues, or maybe just get 1. If we don't need another clue to get Jazz, we shouldn't take that action. So let's go for this here. -3 is perfect. We're at 4 to 3, or 4 to 1 rather. So we get the extra. Whoop. We don't get the student union. Hello. There we go. God, embarrassing. Anyway, we get the 4th clue. For our first action. I flip the clues too. I'm going to take these clues out now. And we are going to go to the next act. So, unable to find Professor Rice, blah, 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 Jazz, blah, blah, blah. Shuffle the encounter discard pile and the set aside Jazz mulligan in the encounter deck. Well, the encounter discard pile would definitely be shuffled back in. However, all the encounter deck is out here. All 4 of the things that we got. Beyond the Veil, Arcane Barrier, Thrall, and Whippoorwill are all out. So, this means 2 things. In my past playthroughs of this, there have been 31 cards in here when you shuffle back in sometimes, and that would mean that you might need 4 clues to get Jazz. So Jazz is an ally here. You do need to parlay test 3 book to get him. If you get him, though, you can ignore the test on each unrevealed Miskatonic location, which is good, because that's kind of how you get into the dormitories as well as the Alchemy Labs back here. But he gets shuffled in here. So we're at 29 cards in the encounter deck. We haven't seen an Ancient Naples, which is great news. So the next act says you can spend a clue to discard the top 5 cards of your deck. The encounter deck, rather. The top 10 if there's 1 player in game, so we'll be doing top 10. And then if we discard Jazz for any reason, we resolve his revelation effect, meaning we just put him into play at our location. And then when we take control of him, we advance. Our cat is very indecisive whether or not he wants to be on the bed. So let's see. We didn't spawn Jazz, but we threw him into the encounter deck. We have 1 clue, so I think I'm just going to use this clue now for my second action to discard the top 3. So I don't remember if we shuffled, but we're definitely going to shuffle again. We're going to go 1. Well, that's the wizard. He is one of the ones that we want to see. Unfortunately, he got milled. 2, 3, 4. There's the other one we want to see. At least with an observer, he has victory 1 on him. So it's at 4, 5, 6. There's Ancient Evils. 7, 8, 9. Looking like we're going to need to get another one, yeah. So Vision of Future Past is another card we don't want to see, and we're glad that it's there because we have Beyond the Veil, and it'll just murder us the second that we draw through our deck. We have a lot of buffer here, and I think that if it comes down to it, hopefully we'll get our track shoes, and we'll be able to dash through everything. It kind of puts us 1 step ahead of the Whippoorwill. So unfortunately we don't find Jazz. I think that we're going to take our 3rd action and we're just going to investigate, hoping to get Leo. Wow, look at that. So that if that came last turn, we'd be able to get both clues. But since we do just get 1 clue, and that's kind of fine. Let's see. So we're going to spend the last action, last clue. Hopefully we'll find Jazz here. It would really suck if we didn't, because that means we'd have to head up to the science building. So we're going to go 1, 2. There's the other Ythian Observer. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There he is. Whew. So he sponsored the Student Union, which is great. Great news. Good job, Jazz. That is our last action, though, so we can't parlay with him now. He comes into play at a location, spooky Arcane Barrier location, and that's our last action. So what we're going to do now is flip back over all of these, and we're going to make sure that we can go to the enemy phase. The bird moves on to us. Oops. Okay. So the bird is here. All our stats suck. Even more. Now I have 0 will. Meaning that it is even harder for us to deal with Arcane Barrier. We're going to move the turn tracker up as we're moving nicely into the upkeep phase. Upkeep phase, he's already ready. Nothing else needs to be done. I already flipped over all my things. Draw a card. Gain a resource. Sneak attack is great. I'm kind of regretting not dealing with the Whippoorwill, but it's kind of fine. We're doing really well on time here. So we're going to move this up 1. So now we know that we cannot get, let's see, we cannot get any of the guys that we wanted. We wanted to see Ythian Observers. We also wanted to see the Wizard of Yog-Sothoth. Unfortunately, none of those guys are going to pan out for us, so we're going to kind of just try and gear up to murder the big guy. And what big guy, you might ask? Well, you might see in the future. Get our encounter card here. It's another Beyond the Veil. If there's no copy of Beyond the Veil in your threat area, so this is great. It's kind of a dud, but it also surges, so we got a new one. Eager for Death. Test 2 will. Increase the stat difficulty for 1 each damage on you. If you fail, take 2 horror. Guess who's going to take 2 horror? Finn Edwards, that's who. So we're at 0 will because of the bird. So we'll just do this raw. We would have won. Well, at any case, that's our 3rd Elder Sign draw. We take 2 horror, and that's kind of fine. I'm actually going to put 1 on Leo because it doesn't say I can't. Yeah. Get out of here. Those birds. So 1 goes on Leo, 1 goes on me. Oop, I don't need to do that. Just do this. So that was Mythos, and then Investigation. So this should always be at 5. This should always be at 4. This should always be, the turn tracker should always be 1 ahead. Let's see here. Some guy's going very fast on his motorcycle outside. How do I want to feel with my track shoes right now? Okay. So we're back in investigation phase. We'll flip our Lone Wolf, get money. It's good that we're accruing money, too, because we do need this to deal some damage. Hopefully we'll draw our other sneak attack, so it'll be a clean 6 and 4. But we're at 4 out of 7 here. We've got this little bird on us, but we do want to get this Jazzman. Jazzman is at 3 parlay, or 3 test intelligence. We are at 3, unfortunately, because of the bird. However, we will just spend 2 into the Streetwise, so we're at 6 to 3, and we'll draw a card, or a thingy for our first action. Okay, so we do take control of him. He immediately comes under our control. I'm going to put him on my arcane slot, I guess, because I don't have any arcane things here. Hopefully that's okay. So we test successfully. It was -2, 6 to 3, so we are at 4 to 3. Good news. And we immediately advance this now. We convince Jazz there's something going on. We hear a crash coming from the science building. Students screaming everywhere. Everything's burning. And we do, let me see. If you've completed the House Always Wins, put the set-aside alchemical concoction into the alchemy labs. If the alchemy labs location is not in play, put it into play. If you're at agenda 1 or 2, spawn the set-aside experiment in the alchemy labs. So we got a few things coming in here. We've got an alchemy labs, we've got the experiment, and we've also got the chemical concoction, or the alchemical concoction in there. None of these things will be coming into play right now. We're going to spawn this here. So we've got the experiment. This is a very big enemy. It's massive, which means that it doesn't directly engage anybody. And, yeah. So we've got the alchemical concoction. It's a fight ability. Uses intelligence instead of combat. If used to attack the experiment, this attack deals +6 damage. So it'll deal 7 damage. If you succeed, remove alchemical concoction from the game. So with this is kind of a great, kind of forgiving item that we can use to murder the concoction. Not murder the concoction, murder the experiment, because we will be able to deal it 7 damage. And let's say we auto fail, we still keep the concoction, which is very important because sometimes they like, you have to discard it as part of its use. But this is kind of like you can flail at it until you succeed, which is good. He has 4 strength and 2 evade, so he's very easy to evade. However, when the enemy phase does begin, we ready him, so it doesn't really matter that we just evaded him, because he'll just get back up and slap you anyways. So where are we at now? So we just got Jazz for our first action. The experiment spawned here. It's not going to move for a little while, as it does not really have any way to. It's not a hunter, it doesn't do anything. And there's nothing really showing that it will move. Oh, I didn't flip this. There's a resign here that I forgot to flip at the beginning of the game, but you know, whatever. Nobody's resigning unless our deck gets dangerously low. There are children outside again. If they get annoying, please let me know. So we have Jazz, we have Leo, we've got a good buffer for damage and horror here. So now here's the question. We can move into the dormitories, and there is a victory on the dormitories. Or we can just go up and attempt to murder this guy. Or grab the concoction, rather, and murder this guy. Kind of get set up for that. We do have to move through this lady, again, if we do so. Otherwise, we basically just take the top 5 cards to the face. We've got 26, so we'd still be at 16. That's pretty fine. We want to get to the dormitories. That way we can investigate, get all the clues off of there, and then we basically get another assured victory. And we get 4 by the end of it. We do have a lot of time, and we did see, so there are 7 cards in the encounter deck. Oops, I dealt 1, my bad. Oh, that was the discard pile. That's fine. So we do see that both of the Visions of Future Past here, I believe there are 2, are already in here. The other Arcane Barrier is in here as well, so we're not going to have to mill many. We didn't see this. The Pushed into the Beyond is the one that I was telling you about. Is kind of super Crypt Chill, where it basically just takes one of your cards and throws it into your deck, and discards the top 3. So the only things that we're really worried about here, I think, is the Pushed into the Beyond. Offer Power is gone. Taking 2 horror is kind of mean. It's kind of redundant here, so it happens a lot. So a lot of the things that we were worried about, suddenly we're not too worried about, and we do want to get 4 victories. So I think we're going to get greedy. We're going to go down to the dormitories, then we're going to head up to the Alchemy Labs and murder the experiment. So we're going to be at 16 cards if we do that. We're going to be go down 5, and then I'm going to draw 1, which would put us exactly 20. So we're going to be at least 4 turns here, I believe. So that'll be 4 cards, putting us to 22, and then we'll be at 5 cards less than that. I believe there are 2 more. Yeah, there are 2 Ancient Evils. Oh, all 3 Ancient Evils in here. Great. So we don't have to worry about that. So all we have left to worry about here is another Whippoorwill. No, the other Whippoorwill's in here. Let me think. There's another one of these, Year for Death. There's another Light of a Forgaman. There might be another Vision of Futures Past. Would be really bad. But that's kind of why we saved the Unexpected Courage. We do kind of want it to deal a lot of damage with our Derringer, because we will need that. Our plan is to get up there after we get into the dormitories. And murder him. So, barring an auto fail from the alchemical concoction, we will have to go back to into the dormitories to get the victory and head out. So, either way, I think our plan is to move in there now. So, let's move to the dormitories now or in a turn. I think we're going to move now. Second action is move. Sorry that took so long. We're going to move to the dormitories. So we're just going to test 4. No matter what, we're going to just discard the top 5 cards of our deck. Okay, it's -4. Great. So we fail by 5. Or no, we fail by 4. Discard the top cards of our deck. That's fine. So 1. There goes our track shoes. 2. There goes our backstab. 3. And 4. Wait, is it 4 or 5? Oh, 5. Okay, yeah. 5 is I'm out of here. So that kind of sucks. That removed a lot of our utility. That was our other sneak attack and another backstab. So we're really going to have to rely on our Derringer now, and the sneak attack we do have. So there are 3 clues here. We're going to have to blast through these before this bird follows us and we get even less of a chance to get them. So I'm going to use my third action. It says either cancel the effects of the move, or discard card. Perfect, okay. Okay, so we're going to use our third action here to get some clues. We're at 1, 2... 4 to 1, which are good odds. Okay, so we succeed. We get 1. What would be nice is another Elder Sign. Elder Sign. So he lets us ignore that. and we get back into the dormitories. We're going to do our last action here as another. Well, that's really unfortunate. So that means that we don't get the clue. We're going to ready everything. This guy's going to fly in here on the enemy phase. I'm going to do that. Just note that in a second. So enemy phase, this guy comes in, makes us real bad at what we do. So I got one of the clues off of here, which is again a shame. Which means we might have to spend some money. This guy gets up. This guy does nothing on the enemy phase. We move to upkeep. Draw a card. Hey, we got our... Ooh, that's pretty good. Gain a resource. And we are moving to the next phase here. So we are at 6. God, that turn took forever. We're going to draw a card from the encounter deck. It's the other Eager for Death. Hey, if you fail, take 2 horror. We're going to fail. We got a 0. We could have prevented it with an unexpected courage, but we don't want to be really using our courage for that now, do we? So we take 2 horror. So I'm just going to replicate this, put 1 on Jazz here, and then take another horror. So we're at 5 out of 7. That's pretty healthy. We're going to move to... That was the Mythos phase. We've got 2 turns until this flips? Yeah, so 2 turns until this flips. And I believe when it flips, this guy immediately moves into... Science building. Yeah, so we're gonna almost want him to be there when we're at that point. But anyway, investigator phase. We will take our lone wolf money. Never forget. We're a little worse at clues now. It's 3 to 1, which is considerably worse. I don't think we're gonna have to worry about this bird ever again. We're going to go for these 2 other clues. The question is whether or not we spend resources doing so. I really want to play these track shoes because they'll enable us to go very fast. We don't have... At this point, I think we don't want the Lucky Cigarette case because it'll be drawing more cards, and we want to not draw cards very much. We want to kind of use what we can here. So do I take the 2 differential? I think by the end of this turn, I absolutely need to get these clues. So I think I'm not going to for the first one. I'm just going to test 3 to 1. Hopefully we'll get it. Perfect. We did it. And then we're going to do... Do we do it again? I need to do it again. Amazing. We got them all. Which means we got another clue up here in the victory display. So now we're going all out, Finn out, and gonna murder this big experiment here. It doesn't really matter if we auto fail because we can always try again. We've got the Streetwise for this. We can just pump money into the alchemical concoction test. Third action, I'm going to spend 3 resources to play my track shoes, which I'll put on my other mystic slot. Then we're gonna vroom out of here, I think. I might just use the manual dexterity. No, I'm going to use the manual dexterity when I go up there, actually. Or the lone wolf, who knows. See, the thing is that this arcane barrier is going to go off, right? But before enemies at your new... Yeah, so you will pass through here, which means that we do have to discard 5 more cards, unfortunately. 15 cards is kind of fine to be at, though, especially with the ones that are in the bin now. So we're going to take our last action and head out. After you move, but before enemies at a new location. Okay, so this means that the Whippoorwill won't test. So we're here now in Arcane Barrier Land. Oh, into or out of. Oh no! That changes everything. Now we're going to discard 10 cards. Now we'll be at 10. That's kind of dangerous. Do we want to commit? I don't think we commit anything to this still, though. It's like a 4 test, but we don't have any way to get up that high. Because we'd be at 3, and we need a +1 or Elder Sign. So I think that we just... I think we just take it. This might be a horrible error, because that means that... Well, So this doesn't actually make us draw a card. If we're out of cards, it doesn't matter as long as we can resign here. And the fact that we have the track shoes is great because it'll mean that we can just move there and resign it immediately. So we're going to do that actually. So we're going to test here for that test. Great, nothing happens. The only horrible thing is if we do this, discard the top 3 cards of our deck with the skull. So we do discard the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Didn't lose anything terrible there. Kind of sucks to lose the trusty whatever, but then we're gonna move out. Meaning that we're gonna test again. Okay, we got the -1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So our weakness is still here. It won't really affect the Whippoorwill much. Thrall engages us. We do still technically... Now we have a fin action. We have 10 cards left, which means that we definitely need to finish this soon. We're going to take a horror, I believe. Or no, we're going to take 2 horror now that there are a ton of cards in here. In addition, the cultist is -3 now because there are a ton of cards in our discard pile. But what can you do? We're just going to cheese it to this guy. Thrall is on us. We're going to... Whew, not manual dexterity. We're at 5, though. We got 4 native, and then we got 1 from the track shoes. So we've got 5. It's not the end of the world if we don't. Okay, well, we did. So we do that. And then we end our turn here. That was all of our actions. So we're going to go enemy phase. He moves up here. We've already committed to this plan. We cannot we cannot be destroyed by this losing 15 cards. I am destroyed by the fact that both of my weaknesses are still here. So we're on upkeep now. So that was enemy. Upkeep now. Upkeep phase, you draw a card we don't really draw right now. Hey, that's reasonable. An illicit card, eh? Is this an illicit card? No, it's just tactic. Okay. Trick spirit. Okay. I'll gain a resource. And then this guy gets up, jumps on me. This guy doesn't have hunter still. We're gonna move this up, move this up. We're back. We're now at the Mythos phase of the next turn. Okay. Let's murder this guy, man. So here's the one that we didn't want. We're going to shuffle a non-story asset we control into your deck and discard the top 3 cards of your deck. So this is another way for us to discard cards, and now it's going to be real close. Oh, so Houdini Master, the League of Extraordinary Investigators challenge is for Arkham Horror, the card game. It's a special, more competitive format where a bunch of investigators get together. We all decide upon a scenario to go through for Arkham Horror, the card game, and we pick a weakness that's agreed upon by everybody or by the creators. I'm not completely sure how that was set up, but everybody chooses their investigator kind of freely, and we go through the Dunwich Legacy is the one that was chosen. So we're going through the Dunwich Legacy. Whoever has the most victory points wins the challenge at the end of the game, and then or at the end of the campaign. And I think there is a reward that was put on by the great Vase Odin, who has a YouTube channel and is incredibly informative about a lot of things in this game. But essentially, we're all competing for fame and glory and riches, but not really any of that. So it's quite fun, and there will be more seasons of it. There is a Facebook group. If you go to Facebook and look up the League of Extraordinary Investigators, you will find us. We kind of post all of our results there. All the videos will be there. So if you want to watch more entertaining videos of this game, go there for all of your resources. Yeah, so we have to resolve this question of the beyond. I don't want to lose Leo. That would be horrible. I don't want to lose Track Shoes. That would also be horrible. I do have another Lone Wolf in my hand. I wasn't really looking forward to using it for this reason because I do kind of want more resources. But it looks like we're gonna have to get rid of it. This is getting dicey here. But we get what we get. So, okay. So we shuffle the non-story asset in our deck. There's card top 3. 1, 2, 3. None of them were discarded, so we don't take 2 horror. Hooray! Although we lose the elusive, which really sucks. So now we're down to like a very, very quick clock. We probably got about 2 more turns. We're gonna take 2 horror off this, which sucks. So that was the enemy phase, or the mythos phase. We're gonna move to the investigation phase now. We don't get our Lone Wolf money, which is horrible. But we do want to evade this thrall here with our free fin action. So we're gonna do that. -2, perfect. We're gonna get out of here. Get this lady out of here. I want to play my Derringer. I don't want to use this manual dexterity anymore. I think I'm just gonna use the smuggled goods to try and evade this guy and get. Let me think. So the enemy phase will happen first. We're gonna have like 3 more draws, I think. Let's think about this. So the enemy phase is not going to do anything. I don't actually think we move into the... Oop. I just scooted my deck a little bit. I don't actually think we want to move in here because he will slap us, wet slap us, with his massive, gross fingers. Do 2 and 2 to us, which is horrible. Hypochondria is coming soon. I know it is. Also, my investigator weakness is coming soon, but that's not really that big of a deal because the only thing that's moving is the Whippoorwill. So we're going to need at least 5 resources. I think I just take a turn off, play the Derringer, play the Lone Wolf. If I move in here, he'll be here by the next Mythos phase, and we can do 3 damage to him. There are 5 cards left in the encounter deck, which means if one of them is that, we would really be sad. So let's think about this. Do we just take the extra damage? I think we just take the extra damage in horror and hope for the best. We do have Leo to lose if we really need to. So I think I'm actually moving in here, dodging him. I don't want to use the manual dexterity, though, because I don't want to draw 1 card. Okay. Okay. Here's the plan. Turn 1 will be play Lone Wolf, because we do need more money. 2 will be move. If we succeed on the agility test, we'll move into the here, grab the free fin dodge. Oh wait, no, we don't have a free fin dodge. Maybe we do just move over here then, because then he won't slap us. We'll move here, move back. He'd slap us like 4 times if we did. Yeah, I don't think we move in there actually this turn now. Okay. We're going to play the Derringer first action. Lose all our money. Second action, gain a resource. Third action, Lone Wolf. Fourth action, gain another resource. We're not drawing any cards. That's one thing we're not going to do. Both of our backstabs are in here, right? That was like kind of the thing that I really wanted to have here. There are 19 cards. Is this really 19? 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, yeah. Yeah, both of our backstabs are in here, which is very unfortunate. And then our other sneak attack is, and our overpower. It's going to take us a while to think about this. So we're going to... We have 3 actions left. We can move in here. He engages us. We shoot him and then sneak attack him. He'll wallop us for 2 and 2. The 2 damage I'm not worried about. I can't play the sneak attack anyways on him, though, this turn, which I do want to. And I'd have to use the unexpected courage on this to get at least a remote chance at shooting him. I think we just take money here. Alternatively, we look for an illicit card, which would be Finn's 48, but we don't think we have enough actions to do so. If we forget any amount of drawing cards, I think, or milling cards, we're just going to sprint for the dormitories and leave. It would be unfortunate because we'd only get 2 victory, but, you know. We're here to be here. So I'm just going to take a... Do I take a money? That seems like such a waste. So if we move... I guess it all depends upon if we succeed on the track shoes. I forgot to exhaust the track shoes last time, but, you know, I would have not done it again. So if we succeed there, we move in there. We dodge, and then we get the alchemical concoction. No, that's a really hard test. I think we just take money here. I think I'm right about doing that. So I'm going to get a money and then play the lone wolf. So get a money, play the lone wolf, get our lone wolf back. And then I'm going to head in here. I'm going to take a damage. No, we're not going to take a damage. When you fail a will test in science building, take damage. So this is already in place, so that's fine. That's the end of my turn. We're going to go to enemy phase in just one moment here. Okay. Enemy phase, this guy moves up here. Whipple was kind of getting annoying. We're going to go to upkeep. We're going to draw a card. There's the hypochondria. So this says after you take 1 or more damage, take a direct horror. That stinks because it means we don't get any more symbols. So these are kind of the symbols we're stuck with. Do gain a resource, which is great for the streetwise. I think we might just be a little short on this, which will be very unfortunate. But we're going to see where this goes. So we're going to go up to turn 7. So this is turn 8 here. 7 doom. Means it pops off. We're going to reset these. Not forgetting. Flip the... Oop. It just shuffled. Yeah, okay. So Dead of Night, Quiet Halls. Okay, so we flip Quiet Halls. Instead, silent. Each investigator with 5 or more cards. And each investigator with 10 or more cards. That's where we're at. It takes 2 horror instead. So take 2 horror. Delicious. And then we, if extracurricular is the first character, we advance to A. If we did do the House of Always Wins, we advance directly to 2B. So 2A, we flip it over because we are out of time. Experiment gone wrong. Cry of fear echoes through the campus, and several students flee from the eastern side of the university where the science building can be found. Could the commotion be linked to Professor Rice's disappearance? If the dormitory is not in play, put it in play. If the experiment is in play, move it 1 location to the dormitories. If the experiment is not in play, spawn it at the science building. So we can move here, right on top of us. It's right where we want it. This goes back down. And now we are... when this agenda would advance by reaching its doom threshold, instead remove all doom in play and move the experiment to 1 location towards the dormitories. If the experiment enters the dormitories, advance. So we are on a very hot clock here. That was the Mythos phase, which advanced this. And now we have to draw another encounter card. It's a locked door. Attached location with the most clues. Is that a locked door attached? It will spawn here, which does nothing. This is great. I forgot about the locked doors. Is there another one in here? No, there's not. So one of the ones we can look forward to in here is the one of the locked door. That's great. Hopefully we'll get that. We're going to flip. This guy readied last phase. Wow, that was sloppy as hell. So now we have to evade this guy. I think we evade him. I think the plan is free Finn evade. Sneak attack on first action. Move in there, take 2 money. The test for this is 5. 5 book. And we are at 4 book. And by book I mean intellect. Oh, I didn't take my lone wolf money. So we're moving to the investigator phase. Take a lone wolf money. I really don't want to land unless I know that he's gonna die next turn. Because like if we just get something else, we're gonna be so screwed. Let's think here. We're not even going to deal with Mana Charity. We did take the 2 horror. That doesn't do anything as far as Hypochondria is concerned. Oh wait, does it? Was that a will test? How did we take that? No, that was just off the end of this here. Yeah, okay. So nothing happened there. Don't want to fail a will test in here because then we'll take 1 damage, which translates into 1 horror. So I think we're just gonna evade this guy and head out. The bird is gonna be there next turn, which will be annoying. And we've got like 3 turns max. Since we hit that thing that shuffles, we're gonna use our free fin evade. Do I want to commit anything for this? It's 5-3 or 5-2 from this guy. That seems fine. Okay, -1. We're good. He gets dodged. While we're here, we're gonna play the sneak attack. So sneak attack. Does 2 damage. Easy 2 damage. So he is at 8 out of 10. Next, we're gonna shoot him with a gun. We'd be at 5-4, and I think we buff this with our courage. We don't necessarily need the +2 damage. All we need is 1 damage. Houdini, this is the first time I'm streaming. I did stream a couple other times, a couple different games, Talos Principle, but I didn't really do that much. So I think I'm just going to be streaming this for the remainder of the season, and every preceding season, hopefully I'll be involved. Mostly for right now, just Arkham Horror for as it pertains to the League of Extraordinary Investigators, but maybe we'll come back and do some more later. So I'm going to spend a resource, I think. We're going to get +2 fight for this. So our second action is going to be fight this man. That way all we need to do is come back and murder him with the book test. The question here is, do we go... I think we go up to... We get Unexpected Courage out of here. If we get that other test, that really sucks. But we're already all in on this plan. And then all we need to do is succeed on a book test, which all we need is resources for. So we're going to go up to 3, 5, 6, 7-4. I'm also going to pitch the Smuggled Goods because we're all in on this. So we're doing 8-4. We got Cultist, which I believe is -3. Yeah, okay. -3. We're good. So we don't get the extra damage, but that's kind of fine. Because all we need is that. So he's at a 7 damage. This does exactly 7. So we're great here. Third action, we're going to head in here. Flip this over. Alchemy Labs. Investigate. If you're successful, instead of discovering clues, we take the alchemical concoction from underneath the location. So this is a 5 test. We don't want to fail this due to the skull being an issue. He's not going to move here until 2 turns from now. The bird will be in here, which is kind of annoying because we want to have a lot of money to do this. We're kind of going to be banking on a big test here to just murder him straight up with that concoction. So we basically just don't want to do this yet, because if we get the skull, we're going to be milling 3 more cards off the top. So I'm just going to gain a money here. Oh. Did I lose the money from sneak attack? I don't know if I did. The elusive got milled, so I sneak attacked. I don't remember if I lost the money. I think I didn't. Maybe I did, though. I know. I don't honestly remember. I know I spent a turn just kind of off grabbing the Derringer and putting the Lone Wolf back out so that I wouldn't run into money issues. But I don't honestly remember. I'm going to go along with this, hoping that it's not the case, because I think I did. But I'm just going to make it a money for my last action anyways. Then I'm going to... so we're going to go to enemy phase. That was my last action, so I flip back over. This guy readies at the beginning of the enemy phase. This guy moves over here. And then upkeep phase. I know we've got some explaining to do. So, oh, we've got a cache. That's really good. The thing is, we didn't spend any money for the Derringer shot. Judge. We were at 2, I'm pretty sure, before. And then we went to... No, I don't think we went to 0, did we? I'm going to remove the 2 resources just in case. Even if it hampers our ability to win this game. We're going to either get murdered straight up by the Veil or whatnot. So this is possibly our very last turn. So we're going to ready everything here. We've got our Lone Wolf, hopefully, that's going to pump in some money. We're going into turn 9 now. Doom got set. This guy moved in here, which is very unfortunate for the fact that we need more money even to deal with that. And we've got another locked door. Great. So we knew this might be coming. Most clues, barring... I guess we could just set it here. Does it spawn on us? Attached to a location with the most clues and without a locked door attached. So that would be 0. Otherwise, we would draw it, I think. Let me just double check that. Okay, so while that happened, this might be on our location, which would be really shitty because we do need to investigate this, which means we need to bust the locked door down. Then we need to or pick the door and then investigate, grab the alchemical concoction. Then, so this is Mythos phase, still resolving. We're just going to think about our turn here. So we need this in order to murder this. Best case, we get 7 or 4 victory. Worst case, we get 2. So we did get the cash, which is really good for this because we want a lot of money here. We're going to get a Lone Wolf money, which will put us at 4, and we'll be up to 7. We want to be like really high above this though, because we're at 4. The bird is going to come in next turn, which would really suck. We don't want to draw another card because our weakness is in there. So, let's see. If we get that, we're going to pump this to... okay. So, I think we can choose wherever we put this door. Yeah, Houdini. I did double check with the rules master over on the podcast that I do Miskatonic University Radio. I always consult him for any strange missteps or considerations I might have missed, and he says that I can choose. Usually he's right, and you're also saying that's right, so I'm going to go with that. So we're going to spawn this locked door a little over here. What would be... I'm going to spawn it way over here. So it can never screw us over. We're never going to get any building. So we're going to spawn it there. We're going to move forward with this now. So we're going to go to the investigation phase. We're going to take our Lone Wolf money. So that's a 5 to 4. We don't have anything to commit because we don't want to draw any cards, and we only got manual dexterity and emergency cash in our hands. So we're never going to use this manual dexterity ever. As if we draw our weakness when we're here, it's just going to pull the bird back to us. So we're going to just, I think, cash and spend 2 or 4 money. Is that right? Because this guy's going to move here next turn, or on the next turn. The other option, let's see. So this is only a -1 if I fail. Either way, I think we need to cash. 1, 2, 3. So we're at 7. We're going to be up to 7 to 5. So we get 4. Let's think about this. I'm never drawing a card. This is very scary. I've like gotten Beyond the Veil like once, and it was never an issue because I never had to deal with an arcane barrier in all of the playthroughs that I've tried of this. So we're at 5 cards left. We effectively have five life for this to go. So I think we're going to spend 2 here. Is the right number, because we'll get up to 7 to 5. No, we're gonna spend 2, 3, 4. Barring auto fail, this should be fine. Okay, so successful investigate, which means we get the alchemical concoction. I'm gonna put it in my hand, even though it doesn't really take up a slot, mostly because it doesn't really matter at this point. So that was the, let's see. So turn 1, cash. 2 was grab that. We can move here and murder him. Hopefully. Worst that happens. Worst case scenario, oh no, because the whippoorwill's there. It's, if I was at 4 money here, I think I might do it, but we're not. So I don't think I'm going to do it. Is there any way we get punished with what's in the deck? Now we have both of these out, so it's really... I don't honestly know what's in here. So if we do a test, it'd be 3... it'd be 6 to 4. And that might be fine. It might be even worth just doing it, but there also might be something that deals horror to us, which would be very bad. So I think that I'm just gonna gain a bunch of money here. Hedge, maybe? Is hedging the right thing to do, or do we just go for it? I think we hedge. I'm going to hedge. I'm just going to grab 2 money. We've got 5 cards in our deck. Oop. I definitely flipped my deck over. But we're just going to gain two resources here. Hoping to... go, and also the other thing is that this whippoorwill moves into us, so it's no longer where the experiment is. Not that it would be anyways. So enemy phase, oops, we move the whippoorwill in here. Welcome. Upkeep phase, ready all of this stuff, and we're ready to blast off here in a second. Hold on. Draw a card, Lone Wolf. Welcome back to the party, Lone Wolf. Doesn't help us though. This advances, so this goes up to 2. We remove all doom, and this guy moves 1 space here. So this is annoying because we've got 2 enemies here. Then we're going to draw a card and hope that it doesn't murder us. Oh, it's another whippoorwill. Oh, beautiful whippoorwills. Oh, hello, welcome birds. Bird friends. Oh, okay, we've got four turns left. I think we're feeling good about this. So that was Mythos phase. Investigation phase. We are at a sad amount of will. We are at -1 will, if that could even be a thing. But we are very bad at everything right now. Lone Wolf money comes in. First action is move. So we move here. Before any enemies investigate or will engage us, we're going to track choose. So we're at 5-2. I'm just going to pitch this to make it an even. 6-2. Okay, we got a cultist. That's fine. Or 6-3, rather. And we do get it because I pitched that. So good job, me. We're going to slide in here. The Thrall will engage us. And then this guy will be here. So we're going to take a fight action, which does not provoke an attack of opportunity. If it did, we'd be at 6 anyways. So we're going to take a fight action. And we're going to do it. So I'm going to pump this to 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do this fight action. And it'll be at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? Yeah, 10. And let's autofail. We did it! So that was our second action here. We're going to punch this guy. He's going to take 7 damage. So he uses plus 6 damage. Uses book instead of fist. If you succeed, remove it from the game. So you remove it from the game. I'll just put it back in here. And we deal 7 damage to him. So he already has 3 damage from the sneak attack and the 1 shot. So we're going to go up to 10 damage. If he's defeated, we advance to Act 3B. We will advance to Act 3B. Monstrous creature lets out a terrible shriek as it succumbs to its wounds and collapses on the ground. Bubble and froth. Relief turns to disgust. Shrinks to disintegrates. And it is a sticky mass. Find a set of bones. A skeletal shrub a canine. It was a dog the whole time. Yeah, big stupid grin. That was one thing that I basically never wanted to do. That never was on my radar. Even though I am Finn, we welcome him to the victory display. We do get 4, and that ends the game for us. So we are at resolution 3. I don't honestly know what that is. I can, I guess, go on my phone and check that out because I am using the Arkham LCG thingy. So let's just one moment here and. LEXI activities. So we did spend all of our experience, and then scenario, we got R3. After defeating a strange and terrifying creature from the Department of Alchemy, you rush to the faculty offices to find Rice. By the time we get there, there's no sign of him. So that sucks. However, we do have 4 in the victory display. We've got 2 from the experiment, and we've got both of the from the Orn Library and the dormitories. And we're going to finish the scenario. We did it! That was dangerously low. Let's see what else would have been up there. Okay, Light of a Forgaman, and that was the last one. I knew it was here. So we did succeed. However, we blessed through the arcane barrier like I thought we could. We didn't get murdered by you beyond the veil. The thrall was fine. Even if it hit us, it would have done 1 to Leo, and then I could have killed Leo or taken more damage, and that's totally fine. So that's it. So we're on Armitage's Fate now. We can choose to add Dr. Henry Armitage to our deck. I think we might, but never play him because we do have a lot of ways to draw through this deck. We do have the 4 victory. I might buy the Obol. I might. However, the train is a very scary scenario. So we'll see. But anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. This was a scary playthrough, but we ended up on top. Unfortunately, we didn't do any of the other. We didn't get any of the other victory guys because they were milled at the beginning from trying to find Jazz. We got the Wizard and both the Athena Observers in there, but we didn't die due to the Beyond the Veil. So it means we made some good choices. And this Thrall was very sad the entire game. So again, everybody, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.